Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at AVAX, see what's going on. I got a lot of requests for this one, and I apologize for the delay in getting this out. I actually had somebody message me, email me, I forget the name specifically, you probably know who you are if you're watching, asking me about if the $50 range is going to be an option for us. So we'll make sure to talk about that today and see if that is a potential reality. Good news is volume is extremely high, strong, propensity for sustaining its continuation, but we do got to also recognize that Bitcoin is starting to top out or maybe just slow down tentatively, may pull back a little bit, so that's going to factor into it. So let's take a quick look at the back-end data first, and we'll draw some new fib levels and kind of go from there, and then just kind of see what is up here with AVAX. And I just want to say thank you again for everyone who's always liking the videos. If you could please go ahead and like the video just so we can get this in front of more people and get less people destroyed by moon boys. Even though moon boys have been right for the last week, that was just a fundamental catalyst. There's a lot of reasons why just blindly taking long positions right now isn't exactly the best practice, but it's also still the better strategy. Just to keep it simple, we're in a bullish market. Taking longs versus shorts makes a lot more sense. This is contrary to what I just told you about, but we did take 3 shorts from Bitcoin, ICP, and Solana. That was yesterday. Quick little in and out, safe, secure profits. We're not letting it run to zero. So that's the key takeaway there, is make sure if you are going to short, you short with purpose and ensure that you get in and out fairly quick, because holding on to a short just isn't really the best call right now. You can still take them, you can still have success with them, just make sure you're being careful. So take a look here, we can see somewhat of a cup and handle pattern forming. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll look at the charts here, but we can see this upper level of 35 to 35.60 as a potential next area of continuation. In other words, when you retest a local high or previous high, you can see that there, the price rejected the first time, commonly referred to as like a double top or just a resistance rejection. If we were to get a little bit more of a base here, continue higher, we're going to break that level and probably go for a run, right? So $38 could be the next target, just kind of throwing it out there, but the initial 35 to 36 makes sense. Just from the bird's eye view. Now let's take a look here. We can see liquidation long delta is higher for longs versus shorts, so that is good news, basically letting us know more people are taking longs than shorts with this coin. And if we take a look at the open interest here, we can kind of see that lately we've seen about $33 to $34.70. Sorry, 34 to 34.70 as those two heaviest concentrations here locally. So people are either A, underwater, or B, at break even for their local investment. Simply put, $32 is another area there, so we got support in the $32 to $34 range. Again, open interest is commonly referred to as like a point of control, depending on where you zoom in or zoom out of. So that just kind of tells us in the last week that people feel comfortable taking longs in the $32 to $34 range. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. What we'll do is we'll draw out some fibs here. Just so you know, I always post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. They generally look something like this, where I give you an indication of where I think coins are going to go and quickly summarize it for you. So just know that's present, and I will post one here soon. But the key takeaway is that for the moment, we're going to go ahead and post or go ahead and update our fibs rather, and utilize that for the moment. So we can see this 0.236, $34, kind of a common denominator. We zoom out and look at our previous high. This was back in July. 32.50 was that previous resistance. So we're just going to pull that out a little further. Keep an eye on it. That could be a new support. So we're seeing a lot of confluence here. 32, 32.50, $34. Some areas of consideration for either a long or potentially, if you're going to short, you would maybe consider securing profits before then. I don't necessarily recommend shorting the market right now. Again, I know we took some shorts last night, but Bitcoin was rejecting pretty obviously off 90,000 even at the time. It just made sense to take some shorts on some overextended coins. Having said that, we're right here at 70 on the RSI, ready to explode, if you will. Breaking above that will be a very monumental scenario for AVAX. But we're not there yet. Everything's looking bullish though on the daily. And the easy way to understand it too, folks, most coin, minus a couple of outliers, are going to look bullish on the daily time frame. So kind of take that with a grain of salt and don't just use it as like the only reason to take a long position. If you're using low leverage and you're considering maybe a longer term hold, you're probably gonna be fine. But if you are high leverage type or anybody who's in that kind of situation, you want to be very, very careful. Just kind of taking longs on whim here, just based on the overall sentiment and how things work out normally. So I'm just going to draw out a trend line here based on the local lows. because again, we're still establishing higher lows, as you can see on the overall trend. We're above the 20-day SMA, the 50, that's always very favorable. Over 50 on the RSI, stochastic swinging up. Money flow index is above the RSI. This is a very, very important detail, letting us know we have more money flowing into this coin, therefore more sustainability at this price point. Even though the RSI is lower, that tells us that people still feel like it's a good value, right? But we're on the right side of tracks where people still feel like it's, we're more bullish than bearish in that sense too. So the general consensus here is that AVAX is more likely to go up than down based on all these time frames we're seeing here so far. Hourly time frame, let's see if we have any potential for breakout here. We're getting close. If we can close above $34, $34.20, basically as is right now or higher, we're going to be in good shape. Because we can see our local point of control here is about $34.30. Everyone's very interested in that price point. We can also recognize the lagging span is within the price action, but it's soon to be free and clear. So hypothetically, AVAX closes at $34.50 or higher. It's just kind of a round number. Then probably likely to continue further up. All right, so that's just generally how that works. I apologize for the guard dog on duty. The easy way to understand it here, though, is if we look at everything, there's, we got a lot of control here at this low $32 mark. Okay, so today, the last 24 hours, we're seeing the bulls control the price, this trading session, and $32 is the price point they're unwilling to let go of. So if somehow we get a price point in the $32 to $33 range for AVAX, that would probably be a good consideration for a long. There's really no reason to consider a short at this point. But the truth is we haven't fully confirmed breakout yet on the hourly time frame. So we want to kind of wait and consolidate here first. So 34.50 or higher at today's daily candlestick closure, pending Bitcoin doesn't make a run towards $90,000 range or lower, we should be in pretty good shape to see AVAX continue higher. Okay, but the key takeaway here is getting above this level here is going to be helpful and important. But again, if you zoom out, or more so, zoom in, you can see we're in the makings of a little short-term cup and handle pattern here. And it's really common for the price action to work itself into a little channel here and inevitably break out. Okay, so there's a good chance we're probably going to see further upside here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But once more, if you want to be a little more patient, it might be appropriate. But again, if we look at this here too, just to quickly correlate the two, on the 15-minute time frame, I like to look at Bitcoin, how it compares with AVAX. We see this nice little run up for AVAX and then a little down and over. And for Bitcoin, basically the same thing, only difference is it ran a lot faster. So the truth is, if Bitcoin comes down to $90,000 range, I'm going to pay attention to AVAX and seeing how well it maintains its range. Just say, for example, AVAX goes sideways and Bitcoin goes down. That'd be a very, very strong consideration for long, because it would be showing strength versus Bitcoin or against it, right? But for right now, we can presume most alts are going to just pull back a little bit. Bitcoin dominance is, still looking pretty high in the overall sense, but it can go much higher, right? Either way, at this point, I think AVAX still has tremendous potential. To touch on the larger time frame question about $50 or higher. Well, 50 is in this range up here. We do have a lot of resistance in that range. So the short answer is yes, it can happen, but we have to get past this $36 mark first, because you look at this point of control in the macro. Unless we close at 36 or higher, that's the local rejection zone from yesterday, then I don't think there's a chance AVAX is going to see that $50 range. But pending we break that, there's a decent chance we're going to run to that level. So I think the odds honestly are pretty high that we're going to see 50s again, as long as the market continues to move the way that it's been moving, right? Bitcoin just tanks to 70, low 80, 70K range, somewhere in there, then absolutely AVAX is going to have a bad day. Okay, there's no other way around it. It's not that strong yet, but we break through some thresholds here and we'll have some sustainability. There's a good chance we might actually see that. I hope that answered your question. I know it's all very hypothetical and tentative for the moment, but I'll post our playout chart here shortly on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you are new to the community or haven't watched in a while, we do have a 60K prize pool with Bitunix. Make sure you take advantage of that. The link is down below. If you've used my link to register with Bitunix, you're automatically eligible. But this is 60K spread across 20 members. So it's really cool, easy prize pool. It's really cool stuff. So anyways, thanks again, Bitunix, and thank you too for just being an awesome part of my life. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.